Hello, Internet. My name is Craig.
And I'm Chris.
And this is the Craig and
Chris show, or Chris and Craig show, depending on which side of the table you're on. What are we talking about today?
Okay. iOS 7. Apple. I own everything Apple. This is a painful video for me to do. I'm not going to lie. I have an Apple TV. I have a Apple iPhone 5.
Yes.
I've touched the iPhone 5S. Ooh, I've touched it. The champagne one, gold. It's on my Google Plus page if you guys want to see me smiling.
You touched it appropriately, I trust.
Is there an inappropriate?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Don't ask.
I stopped halfway into the question. I've got the Apple TV. I don't have a Mac computer.
Because they're expensive.
Because they're ridiculous. And, really, I got an iPad. So, I've got the tablet, the phone, and the TV set.
I do too. I have the phone, I have the iPad, and I have the Apple TV.
Right. So, and I actually did the iOS 7 beta, if you recall.
Yes, I do. I do recall that.
I did get the beta for iOS 7. I paid $5 whole to get it in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Not too bad of a deal. And I used it for about a month, and I stopped using it because it was buggy. It
wasn't there yet. Yeah.
It was buggy. Yeah, it wasn't there yet. This was a few months back. And apps would randomly crash, layouts were having issues, and just developers weren't even updating their apps for it. Why would they? It's not out. Looked pretty, though.
Yes.
Well.
Ish.
So, anyways, this one's a painful one for me to do because it's out now. Everybody's got it.
It's painful for me, too.
Yeah. Honestly, I can say they haven't fixed anything since beta.
Fantastic.
In my opinion. It feels and operates the exact same way it did in beta. Battery life isn't as good.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. Where I was coming from, I just switched like 3 months ago to an iPhone. I had an Android, was happy with it. It was I had an HTC Merge, that was my first smartphone. Just got one. And then so I had that for about 2 years and then switched the iPhone to just see. I figured you can't say one's better than the other without at least having tried both. Was kind of my thing, so I was going to try both so I could, understand both environments.
That's what I did originally.
Honestly, when I first got my iPhone, I thought I made a bad choice. I was frustrated. I tried to set up all the stuff that I had.
I remember you called me and you were like, I don't know about this iPhone, man. I could tell you were like sweating bullets on the other side. Like, I just spent $200 on this thing.
Frustrated, for sure.
I'm like, you got to bear with it. I know it's not Android. All right, so you got to give yourself some time to adjust. There are some good things, there are some bad things, as with anything.
Yeah. And
either you'll end up loving it when you're done, or you'll
see. And I was a customizer guy. I had each email address had its own tone. I did like to mess with a lot of the features, so that was probably my biggest source of frustration was how locked down it was.
It is locked down.
But then you get the battery life, and you get your iTunes library, and so that did balance out, and I've since come to like it. I think both have their advantages.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And then as soon as I get used to it,
iOS 7 comes out. And iTunes Match is a pain in the butt on it, too. I don't know if you've noticed.
I have not used iTunes
Match. I've had all kinds of issues. If you guys have iTunes Match issues, make sure Wi-Fi is on. Because it will not tell you if you're having an issue with your Wi-Fi sync on your iTunes Match.
No.
It just doesn't load it. There's just... You wonder where the heck your library is at. That's how it works. So if you ever need to sync it with iTunes Match, you got to turn on your Wi-Fi. It's things like this that make it not polished. And Apple's not known for not polishing their products.
I also think a lot of the features are kind of, it's a treasure hunt. There's like this sort of video streaming, kind of. As long as you're near your Apple TV.
There is? Perfect example.
If I'm at home using my Wi-Fi, oh look, Iron Man 3. But if I'm using my 3G somewhere else, I see nothing. So I don't know what that
you're
is.
talking about iTunes Match again, being able to watch your library on your phone.
And it's not home share.
No,
I don't have that enabled on my phone.
That happened to me too. That was the same problem I had, and I was actually able to, with Wi-Fi, stream my television shows I bought on iTunes, but not my movies.
See, I was able to do my movies and my TV shows as long as I was there.
See, I don't get that. So obviously there's inconsistencies here. That's a big problem with it. Then you have the calendar.
calendar's a mess.
It's a mess.
I hope you don't have any appointments because you're going to be late.
Yeah, or
By
you're
like
just
a month.
Yeah, you're just not going to find them. That's that.
At least with the
calendar's all-
iPad, it's big enough where you can kind of like go, "What the heck is going on?"
Yeah, well, the phone is like you can zoom out and zoom in and kind of once you've been in it a little bit, it's kind of fluid. But I think they focus more on making it look pretty than making it actually comprehensive.
See, and the problem with pretty
It does
is,
look nicer, but you can't really follow.
I'm going to say this right now. They thought it was like, well, we're going to get rid of this idea that a notepad looks like a real notepad. Or we're going to get rid of the idea that your calendar looks like a real life calendar and just go digital looking.
Mm-hmm.
So they get rid of all the lines on the calendar. The reason why the one that looked like a real calendar works is because it gives you, the user, context.
Yeah.
So you can go, I visually understand this. But when it's just a white slate with nothing but numbers, you give up.
It's intimidating.
You give up.
It's like, now what am I playing, Sudoku?
Exactly.
And that is really always it's an issue with a lot of things on this. I think there's one Chris Perillo mentioned it. It was a sloppyui.tumblr.com. That may be it. You may need to Google Apple sloppy UI, and it's actually a Tumblr blog that this group of people put together that focuses on all the bad UI configurations in iOS 7, and it's actually meant to be instructional, not just a criticism.
Yeah.
So it's actually like, hey, Apple, pay attention to this, and it actually goes through loads of UI issues, improper centering, floating interfaces. A lot of times I'll be opening it up, I'll go through it, and the overlays won't work right. I'll have the overlay on top of my content, so I can't press the button.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just things like this that are like, wow.
Or my personal favorite is you opened every single application on your phone to see what was new, and then realize that your phone keeps them running. So then you have to double tap the home button and then go through and swipe every single.
Well, your
button.
iOS 6 did that though. They kept them all running. Actually, it keeps a snapshot of them running in the background. But this one, it seems to affect your battery life so much more
I think
when
it
you've got
does.
more apps running.
Well, not only that, turn your Bluetooth off.
Yeah, turn that off.
It comes on for some reason. Turn it off, and you have to kind of readjust some things to save your.
I
battery
use
life.
I use an app called Battery Doctor. It's pretty good.
haven't
It'll
used
tell you which apps are using the most battery life and stuff too. It'll monitor them for a week, and it's free. So I mean, it's not like we're making any money off somebody using it. But I've done a decent job disabling and enabling features and removing some apps that just kill battery with that. But it's just I'm not sold on it. I do like the new look of the iTunes.
Yes.
I do like the new look of iTunes Store, and I do like the new look of music. The music
And
app.
you know they added iTunes Radio, right?
Haven't even used it yet.
They added that, but that's what I'm talking about. Is they have all these features that they didn't mention. Like I looked at my stuff, and you can kind of group things. You know how you can group your icons together.
Mm-hmm.
There was like one in one section that had a ton of icons. It had a couple icons that I had no idea what they did. They're like new features.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, tell me what it does.
Yeah, they do that. They did that pretty heavily, and I don't understand why they didn't. This phone isn't for technological people.
No.
The Apple phone. I'm not calling people I use Apple. All right, so I'm tech savvy. The phone really, the user base isn't advanced tech savvy.
Certainly
Typically, because it's user
at least a lot of them.
It's supposed to be user friendly.
It's kind of a set it and forget it phone. You just get it rigged up and you're good.
You know what this is like? This is like Microsoft throwing you into a Windows 8 environment, expecting you just to randomly figure it out, because there's no real tutorial on how to use the operating
And
system.
that turned out so well.
It turned out so well, and it's just a disappointment. I mean, really. So my advice for people who are considering iOS 7: keep iOS 6 for now.
Yeah.
Okay, give them 6 more months to hammer out the bugs. 3 to 6 months. iPhone 6 will come out. It'll probably be solid by then. I actually think that they released it now to remove the bugs for the iPhone 6 people.
I love it when they do that.
So you guys are the guinea pigs. We're all the guinea pigs, the ones that actually got
love paying to be a guinea
iOS 7.
pig.
That's right. So, but you can still roll back to iOS 6 if you want to. You can do that through iTunes. So,
Well, the one good thing that iOS 7 really has is a flashlight.
Oh, that's true.
Finally.
That is true. I do, and it's hardly a seller, but if you're at the home screen, you can just do this, and you can actually turn on and off all your services, and you can turn on your calculator,
That's
and
pretty
you can
cool.
turn on your flashlight. But this is an Android feature.
A lot of them are.
Yeah, a lot of them are. A lot of them are Android features, but it is nice that they did put it in there.
Yes.
So I do at least appreciate that. They're like, we're not doing it because Android did it.
Well, I had this one flashlight app that every time you would use it, why are you using a flashlight? Because it's dark and you need it. This flashlight app would pull up ads and turn your flashlight off.
Oops.
Yeah, that's going to make me buy.
I don't even understand why it took them this long to have a built-in flashlight app.
I don't know.
Or a built-in calculator. Well, they did, but it wasn't easy to get to it.
Yeah.
But either way. So our consensus on iOS 7. Go.
Weak sauce.
Wow, that's pretty good. It's a one-word summary. I don't even think I like that. Mine is keep iOS 6. Wait a few more months.
Yeah.
Till your buddies are, finally figuring out how to do it all. And then, unless you're a nerd like us, and then move up to iOS 7.
Yeah, I would say, if I were to elaborate, Samsung Galaxy 4 is pretty popular. Android's definitely popular, or picking up steam at the very least. Not exactly the best tactical maneuver recently.
True. And even if you talked about that even more, when I mentioned me getting my hands on the champagne iPhone 5S, dude, that phone is an iPhone 5.
Yes.
There is nothing special about that phone. And what you want to do when you pick up a new phone is you want to go, ooh.
Yeah.
That's how you should feel. Like, this is sexy. This is awesome. This is way better than my phone. I picked up the 5S and go, this is my phone.
In gold.
And that's disappointing.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't justify spending this kind of money on the same device.
Yeah.
So then that makes Android go a lot more appealing. So if I'm going to get a new phone right now, I'm going to get an Android, and I'll just keep my iPhone. Because Verizon lets me switch phones.
Nice.
So I don't know if you knew that.
No.
But a lot of carriers do. You can just, I want to use my iPhone for a few months, and then I can just log into my internet, enter the SSID on this, and this is my phone for a few months. Then I can switch back to Android. So I can switch between them.
Yeah, which, there's got to be some more people out there who are kind of don't like both.
I like both.
So, if they're on the fences or the other one's stepping up, this is not...
Now is a time to buy an Android.
It's not a winner.
Really, I hate to say it. I love iPhone. I love their ecosystem is the best phrase I've heard them say. The ecosystem's amazing.
Yeah.
If you have an Apple TV, an iPad, and an iPhone, it blows away Android as far as cross-compatibility is concerned. I hate to say it, but the ecosystem is really the only major reason. That and battery life.
Yeah.
Is really the major reason. So
battery life's the biggest one for me.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up. In an awkward kind of way. I think we just did.
I think we covered it, yeah.
Let's wrap it up. Wrap up the wrap up.
Uh,
Thank you all for stopping by the Craig and
Chris show.
Oh, yeah, we're hoping you subscribe and you give your opinions on the iOS 7 in the comments below. Google Plus, be gentle.
Yeah.
Be very gentle. Us iPhone guys can be pretty sensitive sometimes.
Well,
that's true.
They've got an upper hand right now.
That's true. They are. They're doing a good job.
All right.
So, have a great day.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it's just like my phone.
Hey, your phone's just like my phone.
Dude, check this out. Mine's got a different background.
It moves.
Look at my colors. They're
Do you think that affects battery life?
Well, dude, look, mine's brighter than yours.
You went there, man.